Negotiation is everywhere. Whether you're convincing a friend to try a new cafe, persuading your boss for a raise, or navigating a high-stakes business deal, it's not about outsmarting someone or forcing your way. It's about creating solutions where everyone feels valued. In this video, we'll explore 10 transformative secrets to make you a persuasive negotiator, drawn from proven strategies used by experts in high-pressure situations. These techniques will help you build trust, uncover hidden needs, and craft agreements that leave both sides energized. From everyday conversations to life-changing deals, mastering these skills will give you the confidence to navigate any negotiation with ease. Get ready to rethink how you approach discussions and unlock the power of persuasion. Let's dive into the first secret in the next part. Part 1. Build trust through listening and empathy. Negotiation isn't about out-talking someone or steamrolling them with your agenda. It's about building a bridge of trust that lets both sides walk toward a solution together. The first secret to persuasive negotiation is mastering the art of listening, not just hearing words, but tuning into the emotions and intentions behind them. When you listen deeply, you signal to the other person that their perspective matters. Imagine you're discussing a project deadline with a colleague who seems stressed. Instead of jumping in with your own demands, pause and focus on their tone and words. Are they worried about quality? Overwhelmed by tasks? By listening, you gather clues to tailor your approach, making them feel valued and understood. This isn't just polite, it's strategic. People are more likely to compromise when they feel you're on their side. But listening alone isn't enough. You need to show you get it. This is where tactical empathy comes in, a technique that goes beyond sympathy to truly grasp the other person's feelings and mindset. Let's say a client is upset because your team missed a delivery date. Instead of defending yourself, acknowledge their frustration. It sounds like you're really disappointed because we didn't meet the timeline you were counting on. This simple act of naming their emotion, called labeling, does two things. It validates their feelings and lowers their defenses. You're not agreeing with their anger, but you're showing you understand it. From there, they're more open to hearing your solutions. Labeling works because it taps into a universal truth. Everyone wants to feel seen. To amplify this, try a technique called reflecting. After your client explains their frustration, summarize their key points in your own words. So, you're saying the delay threw off your schedule, and now you're worried about meeting your own deadlines. Then pause. This invites them to confirm or clarify, deepening the conversation. Reflecting isn't parroting. It's showing you've processed their concerns. If they nod or say, "Exactly," you've built a connection that makes negotiation smoother. Studies show that people are 6 times more likely to trust someone who demonstrates understanding, so this step is a game changer. Another tool to pair with listening is the strategic use of open-ended questions. Instead of asking yes or no questions like, "Do you want this done by Friday?" Try, "What's driving your timeline for this project?" This invites them to share their priorities, revealing what they value most: speed, quality, or maybe budget. These insights give you leverage to propose solutions that align with their needs. For example, if they mention quality is critical, you can suggest a slightly longer timeline to ensure top-notch results, framing it as a benefit to them. Open-ended questions turn negotiation into a discovery process, not a tug of war. Finally, don't underestimate the power of a positive demeanor. A warm tone and genuine curiosity can shift the entire mood of a conversation. When you approach negotiation with openness, you create a safe space for honest dialogue. This doesn't mean being overly cheery. It means showing you're invested in finding a solution that works for both of you. By combining deep listening, tactical empathy, reflecting, open-ended questions, and a positive vibe, you lay a foundation of trust that makes the other side want to work with you. These skills take practice, but they'll set you apart in any negotiation, from boardrooms to family dinners. Part 2. Unlock hidden insights with smart techniques. Great negotiators don't just talk, they uncover what the other side really wants. The next set of secrets will teach you how to dig deeper into their priorities without making them feel pressured. One of the most powerful tools for this is mirroring, a subtle technique where you repeat the last few words or the core idea of what someone says. Imagine you're negotiating a contract, and your client says, "We need this finished in 2 weeks because our event is coming up." You respond, "Your event is coming up," with a curious tone. This isn't mimicking. It's a signal that you're engaged and want to hear more. Mirroring works because it keeps the conversation flowing naturally, encouraging the other person to share details they might not have planned to reveal. Maybe they'll say, "Yeah, it's a huge product launch and we can't afford delays." Now you know their real priority is avoiding embarrassment, not just speed. Stay quiet for a few seconds after mirroring to let them fill the silence, often with golden nuggets of information. Another way to uncover motives is by asking calibrated questions, those starting with how or what, that gently nudge the other side to solve the problem with you. Suppose you're discussing a salary increase with your boss, who says, "We're tight on budget this quarter." Instead of pushing back, ask, "How can we structure this to fit the budget while meeting my goals?" This question does two things. It shows you're collaborative, and it forces them to think creatively about solutions. They might suggest a bonus, extra vacation days, or a deferred raise, options you hadn't considered. Calibrated questions turn you into a partner, not an adversary, and they reveal what's driving the other side's position. For instance, their answer might hint that budget constraints are temporary, giving you a timeline to revisit the conversation. A surprising secret is to invite a no early in the negotiation. It sounds counterintuitive, but no can open doors that yes slams shut. When you ask for a yes, people feel cornered, like they're committing to something they might regret. But no gives them control, making them feel safe. Picture yourself pitching a project to a skeptical colleague. Instead of saying, "Can you sign off on this today?" Try, "Would it be a bad idea to review this together now?" If they say no, they're not rejecting the project. They're saying it's not a bad time to talk. They might add, "No, but I need to check my schedule first." You've started a dialogue without pressure, and they've given you a next step. This approach reduces resistance and keeps the conversation moving forward. To bring all these techniques together, you need to master the rhythm of a conversation. Don't rush to fill every silence or leap into your pitch the moment there's a lull. Slowing down shows confidence and gives the other party space to think. If you're negotiating a car purchase and the seller pauses after hearing your offer, resist the temptation to immediately adjust it. Let the silence sit. That pause could lead them to reveal a better deal or explain why they're hesitating. Maybe they're trying to move stock quickly. Pacing also includes mirroring their tone. If they're composed and thoughtful, coming in with too much energy can feel overwhelming. Matching their tempo with a calm, curious tone helps you stay aligned and builds trust. Another critical tool is curiosity. Treat negotiations like investigations. Every answer brings you closer to understanding their true motivations. Are they driven by recognition, stability, urgency, or something else? Genuine curiosity makes your questions and reactions feel natural, not rehearsed. For instance, if a vendor insists on a higher rate, ask with real interest, "What's behind that price?" You might learn they're covering surprise expenses, which gives you room to suggest alternatives like split payments. When curiosity leads, the process stops being adversarial. It becomes a mutual problem-solving mission, which encourages collaboration. Part 3, seal the deal with agreement and creativity. Once trust is built and motivations uncovered, it's time to guide the conversation toward a lasting resolution. One of the strongest signals in any negotiation is hearing the words, "That's right." It's not just agreement. It means the other side feels heard and validated. You've captured the essence of their viewpoint. Let's say you're discussing a business partnership with someone worried about budget constraints. After listening, you summarize. Sounds like your concern is keeping upfront costs low to maintain consistent cash flow for your team. If they say, "That's right," you've crossed a major threshold. They're far more likely to be receptive to your suggestions because you've proven you understand them. Be cautious, though. "You're right" doesn't carry the same weight. It can be a polite way of ending the conversation, not a sign of genuine agreement. That small difference matters a lot. Another powerful move is tackling objections before they derail the conversation. Addressing potential concerns upfront shows that you're aware of their worries and willing to confront them directly. Suppose you're pitching a new marketing strategy to a client who's had bad experiences with past agencies. Acknowledge it right away. "I know you might be hesitant after previous campaigns didn't meet your expectations." Naming the concern out loud eases tension. It's like diffusing a ticking clock before it rings. It shows you're not afraid of hard topics and boosts your credibility. They'll be more inclined to focus on your proposal instead of getting caught in old frustrations. Bringing up objections early also makes the conversation smoother, since there's less chance they'll bring up hidden complaints later. The ultimate aim in any negotiation is finding a solution that works for both parties, not by settling for less, but by creating something better together. This is often called the third way. Think of two friends arguing over dinner plans. One wants sushi, the other pizza. Instead of compromising with a place neither likes, they find a food market with options for both. It's creative and satisfying for everyone. In business, this might look like offering a flexible payment structure to help a client manage their budget while still securing your full fee. These win-win outcomes require creativity and openness, but they transform conflict into opportunity. Another strategy that strengthens your position is setting expectations early, also known as anchoring. Anchoring establishes a reference point that frames the rest of the discussion. If you're offering a service for $5,000, begin by introducing a premium $8,000 package with extra perks. When you later present the $5,000 option, it feels more reasonable by comparison. This isn't about misleading the other party, it's about positioning your offer in a context that highlights its value. Anchoring works because people tend to compare all future numbers to the first one they hear, so it pays to be thoughtful with your opening move. One final technique to seal the deal is using well-timed pauses. Silence isn't just empty space, it's a powerful tool. After presenting a proposal, like a discount in return for a longer contract, stop talking. Let the silence sit. In studies, negotiators who paused after key points were significantly more successful in securing concessions. That quiet moment often compels the other person to speak, offer more information, or make a move. If you're discussing a venue and mention your budget, wait. They might say, "We can't lower the fee, but we can include extra services." That valuable insight could be lost if you rush to speak again. Pauses show you're comfortable and in control. Together, these strategies, seeking "that's right" moments, anticipating objections, creating third-way solutions, anchoring early, and using strategic pauses, form the choreography of great negotiation. They help keep the discussion flowing while nudging it toward a solution that benefits both sides. Part 4. Master tough talks with positivity and adaptability. Tense negotiations are inevitable, but the best negotiators remain steady, flexible, and cooperative, even when emotions run high. These final strategies will help you deal with difficult people, keep the discussion on track, and close with confidence. Let's start with maintaining a positive presence. Staying warm and approachable isn't just polite, it's smart. Optimism helps diffuse tension and encourages mutual problem solving. Imagine you're renegotiating a lease and the landlord insists on a rent hike. Instead of arguing, respond calmly, "I get where you're coming from. Let's see if we can find a rate that works for both of us." That tone keeps things constructive. Positivity doesn't mean backing down. It means showing belief that a solution exists. In fact, studies suggest that positive energy boosts creative problem solving, making you a better negotiator. Adaptability is another must-have. Not everyone negotiates the same way. Some people want data and logic. Others respond to emotional cues. Some just want to win. The trick is identifying their style early on. A detail-oriented executive will respond well to numbers. Based on last quarter's performance, this plan cuts costs by 15%. A teammate who's overwhelmed might need empathy. "It sounds like you've been carrying a heavy load. How can we share the work better?" The point isn't to change your goal, but to shift your delivery. Even small adjustments like matching their speaking speed can build trust. Fast talkers like momentum, slow ones appreciate careful thought. Adapting shows respect for their preferences and makes your message land more effectively. When you meet people where they are, negotiations stop being battles and become productive, even collaborative conversations. Handling tough negotiators requires extra finesse. Some people use aggression or stonewalling to throw you off. Don't take the bait. If a supplier snaps, "That's my final offer, take it or leave it." Stay composed and use a deflection technique. "I hear how firm you are on this. What's making this price non-negotiable for you?" This shifts the focus to their reasoning without escalating tension. Tough negotiators often rely on intimidation, but they soften when you show respect while holding your ground. Another tactic is to set boundaries politely. If they interrupt constantly, say, "I'd love to hear your thoughts fully. Can I finish my point first?" This keeps the discussion civil and ensures you're heard. The key is to stay unruffled, losing your cool hands them the upper hand. Managing your own emotions is just as critical. Negotiations can stir up frustration or anxiety, especially when stakes are high. To stay sharp, practice a quick reset. Take a deep breath, focus on your goal, and remind yourself that emotions don't define the outcome. For example, if a client's lowball offer annoys you, mentally reframe it as an opening bid, not a personal slight. This keeps you focused on the bigger picture. A practical tip is to prepare an emotion anchor before tough talks, like a phrase. Finally, leverage body language to reinforce collaboration. Nonverbal cues can speak louder than words. Maintain open posture, uncrossed arms, slight lean forward to show you're engaged. Nod subtly when the other person makes a point. It signals agreement without committing you to anything. Eye contact is key, but don't stare. Aim for a natural balance to convey confidence and trust. If you're negotiating with a hesitant buyer, a gentle smile paired with, "I'm excited about making this work," can ease their doubts. Conversely, watch their body language for clues. If they lean back or cross their arms, they might be skeptical. Pivot to asking a question to re-engage them. Aligning your nonverbal signals with your words creates a sense of partnership that nudges the deal forward. These secrets, staying positive, adapting to personalities, handling tough opponents, managing emotions, and using body language, give you the tools to navigate any negotiation with grace and impact. They're about turning challenges into opportunities and keeping the focus on mutual gain. Part 5. Bring it all together for lasting success. You've now got a toolbox of 10 powerful secrets to transform how you negotiate, from everyday conversations to high-stakes deals. Let's wrap up by recapping these game changers and adding a few final insights to ensure your success lasts. Negotiation isn't about winning at someone else's expense, it's about creating value together. You've learned to listen deeply to understand needs, use tactical empathy to build trust, and mirror words to uncover hidden priorities. Asking calibrated questions like, "How can we make this work?" shifts the dynamic to collaboration, while inviting a no empowers the other side to engage without pressure. Aiming for "that's right" seals trust, and diffusing negatives clears the path for solutions. Finding the third way crafts creative outcomes, while positivity, adaptability, and body language keep the vibe constructive. You've also mastered handling tough negotiators and controlling your emotions to stay sharp under fire. Now, let's add one more secret: build long-term trust. Negotiation isn't a one-off. It's a stepping stone to stronger relationships. Whether you're dealing with a coworker, client, or family member, approach every interaction as a chance to earn respect for the future. For example, if you're settling a dispute with a neighbor over a shared fence, don't just aim for a quick fix. Suggest a solution, like splitting maintenance costs, that shows fairness and sets a precedent for working together. Follow up later with a friendly gesture, like sharing garden tips, to reinforce goodwill. Long-term trust means they'll be more open to you next time, whether it's a small favor or a big deal. People remember how you made them feel, so prioritize respect and reliability in every exchange. Another key is ethical persuasion. Never manipulate or mislead. It erodes trust and backfires. Instead, use your skills to align solutions with the other side's values. Suppose you're convincing a friend to join a charity event. Don't guilt trip them. Highlight how their involvement supports a cause they care about, like animal rescue. Frame your pitch around their passions, and they're more likely to say yes without feeling pressured. Ethical persuasion builds genuine buy-in, not resentment. Always be transparent about your intentions and avoid over-promising. If a client asks for a rushed project, explain what's feasible and offer alternatives, like prioritizing key tasks. Honesty strengthens your credibility and makes people trust your word. Finally, practice makes persuasion. These secrets only work if you use them. Start small. Try mirroring in a casual chat with a coworker, or labeling emotions during a family discussion. For instance, if your sibling seems stressed about holiday plans, say, "It feels like you're juggling a lot with everyone's expectations." Notice how they respond. Keep a journal to track what works and what doesn't. Over time, these techniques will feel natural, like second nature. Challenge yourself to use one secret each week, like asking a calibrated question in a meeting or staying calm with a pushy salesperson. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become, and soon you'll handle any negotiation with ease. As you move forward, remember negotiation is about connection, not conquest. Every conversation is a chance to solve problems and build bridges. You don't need to be loud or aggressive to be persuasive, just curious, empathetic, and creative. Take these 10 secrets plus the extras we've added and apply them to your next discussion. Whether it's nailing a job offer, planning a vacation with friends, or resolving a workplace conflict, you've got the skills to make it happen. So go out there, start small, and watch your influence grow. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more tips to level up your life, and let us know in the comments which secret you'll try first.